All right. I'm also stoked for this game. Stoked for this game of StarCraft. More like stoked craft, eh? Spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Alcyone, we've got Dragon Kites's Oliveira. I guess current reigning world champion? I guess? His opponent in the lower left-hand corner. Representing Twisted Minds, it is Classic. Oh, thank you, Whoosh. I am going to Dallas, which I'm very excited for. That is next week. Dallas starts next week. I'll be there on Thursday through Monday. So if anybody else is going to be in Dallas for DreamHack, to connect, say hello. I've never been to Dallas, so excited to go to a new city. And it's not even the only new city I'm going to for StarCraft related things. As in the middle of the month, the 16th and 17th, no, what is it? 15th and 16th, Zombie Grub is putting on a tournament, and a handful of us are going to be going to Vegas. We're going to be all together to cast the tournament and hang out and make bad decisions. The players, it's good. The tournament's going to be online. It's an NA event, but it's already looking sick. I should make a command for that. I have the Matcherino up somewhere here. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. Going to hang out with more StarCraft people in June. So I hope you guys will tune in for that one. That's called the Safe House. SC2's Safe House. Whew, already a $2,800 prize pool for that. Such a sick scene supporting that. Anyways, let's talk about this current game happening right now. Ooh, Adept really wants to come in here and get some damage done, but will be the Adept getting damage done to it. As Oliveira is going for kind of a TVT opener here with the double Reaper Hellion opening. Again, I haven't cast a lot of this matchup lately, so I'm not sure where the standard is right now, how that's changed in the last few months. This it doesn't feel like super crazy, but I wouldn't necessarily assume this is standard. This feels like Oliveira messing around a little bit, doing something different. Trying to put some pressure on the Classic. The Oracle is going to pop at a very crucial time to help out here. However, this Oracle has very limited energy. It's not going to be able to do too much. We see Classic trying to not turn it on when it's just the Hellions nearby. The Hellions can just run away and waste a bunch of that energy. But he's also got to be careful not to let too much damage happen to him. So far, though, good defense from Classic. Oliveira deciding not to go in. And instead just pulls back home with these units to use them at a later time. Classic building one Phoenix. We'll see if he keeps on the Phoenix, as he does have a Robo, so he could head into like Phoenix Colossus. But with the Immortal coming out instead, it feels like maybe it's not going to be Phoenix Colossus. I don't know. Maybe it's just the one Phoenix and then into Colossi. That's the real answer. Excuse me. Oracle finally gets a kill as the Hellions again try to get something done, but no such luck. Uh-oh. Ooh. As Classic would probably dodge the mine shot. I say as he eats the mine shot. Okay. Reaper's in the bunker there, not helping push the Oracle away, but that is going to be a dead Phoenix as the second Widowmine gets the connection. And is in fact straight to Colossi here. Classic just going heavy Robo units. Double Immortal into Colossi. Why go Phoenix Colossi when you can go Immortal Colossi? Duh. Oliveira with the 3-rack setup here. Gonna have a pretty powerful set of bio units, but he's definitely gonna need more than that against the Colossi. Classic kind of rushing those, skipping the heavy Phoenix production means he's just going to have a very powerful ground army. A bit of bio is not going to be able to stop this. However, we have our first drop coming out here, and Oliveira does have the potential to drop a lot more, considering there's one Phoenix out and a second one on the way. Not really any reason to not be dropping all over the place. None of these units shoot up. He doesn't have to be too worried. Classic, though, kind of thinking about it, he's already got the pylon out here, which is going to spot that first medevac. I don't know if he noticed it, though. Maybe he was looking in the middle there. He's not reacting to this at all. Ooh, maybe he's looking back on this side of the map, but the Oracle is microing, killing some Marines, killing some SCVs, dies to the Widowmine. In the meantime, the drop's coming in over here for Oliveira. Oh, I'd love him to target this down, but he's focused on this drop, as some Widowmines are distracting the Colossi, and the bio is getting quite a bit of probe damage. 7 probes going down, some Zealots here running forward and dying. I think Oliveira will just pick up and boost away. The main base is still in trouble here, as even a gas assimilator going down. Oliveira just going to pick up and pull out. Here's the drop at the third base now, going to join up. I don't think it's enough to take down these units next to the shield battery, but again, this is just really nice use of units from Oliveira because there's no Phoenixes. We see why it's Phoenix Colossus, right? Why it's not just Immortal Colossus. You do kind of need something to deal with drops. You need something to deal with, like, Vikings potentially, and Classic just doesn't have that. He has 2 Phoenixes out. That's actually just, it's honestly worse than 0 Phoenix. Those 2 Phoenix, that money could have been anything else, and it'd probably be better than just having 2 Phoenixes out. Classic forced to split his units, but he's got a bit of a split now. Some stuff in the natural, some stuff down by the third. Nothing in the main base, but if he pays attention to this pylon, he will have enough advance warning to get stuff into the main. Now, Oliveira is seeding his third. This is very late for a third base. He was focused on putting that pressure on, and he did do some damage. We can see how far behind he is economically, even with that damage, even with all those probe pulls and everything. I don't know if it was necessarily worth delaying the third by this long. On the flip side, though, he's got Vikings and Ghosts coming out. Oh my God, he's got double Starport Vikings and Ghosts coming out. So I feel like that, along with the fact that Classic just started his 1-1. Actually, don't hate this position for Oliveira. I don't love how behind he is economically. But because he's just pumping this tech out, he's going to have a fantastic army as this game progresses. We'll see if he's able to start up 2-2 anytime soon. He doesn't have an armory or a second engineering bay, and I think that is unfortunately a bit of a misstep here for Oliveira, not being able to get into that 2-2 quickly. But that might be a sacrifice he had to make to get Ghosts and double Starport Vikings out. He's seen how many Colossi there are, 4. And he's just pumping out Vikings right now. Already 12 in the sky. That's a lot. I don't know how many more he really needs. I remember the old math used to be like 4 per Colossi, right? So you'd want 16 here. So Oliveira might be going for that. He can just gun these down. And then the thing is, landed Vikings are actually quite good against the rest of this army too. They can really pack a punch if there's some bio left to support them. Classic does have quite a few Stalkers, but his 1-1 still only about 3/4 of the way done. He still has to wait a little bit before he's even on upgrades with this Terran army. And the Vikings already taking pot shots. The Phoenixes go down immediately. Classic dropping a pylon. He's got a Warp Prism heading towards the natural of Oliveira. No defense here, no turrets or anything. Even the reinforcements have left. So it looks like Classic's going to be able to get into the natural no problem. And Oliveira is still just kind of poking around at the front. See if he can grab a Colossus. Yeah, he gets one. Loses a Viking for it, but that is a worthwhile trade. And now he's got to focus back at home where a massive warp and is not going to complete. Oh, that Viking with the final shot. That is very good for Oliveira, because he is already bringing everything home. But if that warping had happened, it would have been a lot more damage. Classic is kind of pushing him away. The thing is, Classic, I mean, he must realize that this is a 3-base Terran. He's been 4 bases this whole time. A 5th is now done. He's probing it up. He's on 80 workers. His 2-2 is on the way, which is the same for Oliveira, but now the upgrades have equalized. Classic has had more time to get into better tech, namely disruptors. So even if Oliveira kills these Colossi super quickly, that's not the whole army for Classic anymore. Oh, and Oliveira is very split right now. He's got units kind of coming all over the place. The Vikings are actually going to be really nice here. They are going to crush these Colossi, and this turns into a 360 surround from Oliveira. I was worried he was going to get split up, but no. He is going to demolish this army of Classic. The Disruptors just don't get any damage done. The last couple of shots not going to go off, and Classic loses his entire army. And now Oliveira, I think, just pushes across the map. Some Zealots can get warped in. The bio here for Oliveira is very sad looking. He might need to wait for some reinforcements of his own. I think he can also just land these Vikings. That might give him enough reinforcement power here. See if the Disruptors can clean this up. Some Liberators showing up. I don't think there's enough for Oliveira to push through here. It is very close. The Liberators are really helping, and it looks like that is going to be enough with the bio just staying alive barely with these medevacs. Oh, the pylon gets killed before the warp-in completes another warp-in. Snubbed by Oliveira. And now probes are starting to go down. This base is in trouble. Classic is frantically trying to stay alive. I think he just has to sacrifice this base. The dangerous thing is if Oliveira goes down here, Classic's going to be in a tight spot. He would be knocked down to 3 bases. I think that's exactly what Oliveira is going to do, because he can just control this ramp with the 3 Liberators, and there is no way Classic is going to bust down. And that's exactly what is happening here. The probes are all running away. They could be recalled, but this would still be a 3-base to 4-base situation as Oliveira's 4th is set up back at home. Oh, he's going to try to come in. Classic trying to take this down. The Disruptors doing their best. The probes coming in to fight, but Oliveira splitting beautifully, and GG gets called as Oliveira takes game number 1. I actually thought Classic had held on long enough to just be in an okay spot, but Oliveira with just a beautiful fight. And I feel like that game really accurately portrays what makes Oliveira so difficult to play against and why a lot of players struggle against him. And it's because, like, he got to, I guess, like a normal place in that game. But the way he got there was a little bit different, right? Putting that pressure on with all the drops, kind of a late third. But as he was taking third, he already had double Starport and Ghost coming out. 1 eBay, so his, like, 2-2 started pretty late. Yeah, just a weird game from Oliveira, but I think it threw Classic off a little bit. What the army situation was, what the economic situation was. I think that's something that Oliveira is really good at, throwing the opponent off. All right, game 2 is coming up. I'm excited for this. I feel like Classic just played that game very solidly, and still, it just didn't work out. So game number 2 is going to be on Oceanborn. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner, we have Dragon Kites's Oliveira. His opponent in the upper left for Twisted Minds, it's Classic. The boys are playing Warhammer tonight, and I am a little jealous. Should be able to get a game in tomorrow night, but it's looking pretty cool. I've had a lot of fun playing Warhammer. I wish it wasn't so expensive. It's not quite as expensive as I thought it was going to be, but it is still... It ain't cheap, you know? Honestly, a part that I didn't think about that has made it more expensive is all the accessories you need. Like, the models themselves, pretty expensive. Time expensive as well to put together and to paint, which I do not have the time for, so that's been a little tough. But like trying to figure out how to transport them, to buying things like paint, it's all, you know, it all adds up real quick. And I got 2 trips in June I gotta save for. I understand why they don't, but I kind of wish there was just like an online Warhammer game. Turn-based. Honestly, like Baldur's Gate style. They should hire Larian to build a turn-based Warhammer tabletop style game. It could actually be so sick. But then people wouldn't buy the models, so... Or as many people wouldn't buy the models, so they'd probably lose a lot of money. Anyways. Video gaming here. Oliveira opening... I guess it's kind of similarly, but CC on the high ground. Double Marine instead of double Reaper here, so not going to have that pressure potential. But as we saw last game, the Reapers ended up doing nothing, really. They were in a medevac at some point, but that's about it. They poked the front. They just kind of pulled back, hung out in the bunker back at home. So Oliveira may be thinking, I'll just skip that step, get the better units out. And I feel like he's going to go for a pretty quick drop here. Did he cancel the Hellion? Oh, no. The Hellion ran across the map. And is going to try to get in. Whoop. It will die. Let's see if it scouted anything, though. What did Oliveira see? Not much, but he did see the Twilight Council, and I think that's very important. Seeing that Classic is going Twilight Council first. No Oracle here, no Phoenixes here. That might give Oliveira a better idea of what he's up against, which is likely just going to be Blink Stalkers. And, well, he didn't get to scout all of the extra gates that are coming down. Ooh, he's going to run right over these Stalkers, though. Oh, my God. Oh, Oliveira might just be full dead here. Yeah, okay. Yep. A little bit of a delayed reaction dropping those units out when they got hit by the Stalkers and losing the Cyclone that early, as well as a couple Marines. No bunker. Just kind of ends. Even if it didn't just end there, the Blink Stalker 2-base attack that Classic was about to do would have absolutely killed him without those early game units. So, GG. Such a banger of a first game. And kind of a bop second game. That's just how it goes sometimes. That's what I love about TVP, actually. I was talking about this earlier, specifically with Max Pax and Clem, but somebody was just talking about Hero versus Maru, and I think TVP, a lot of high-level TVP in general is like that, where it game one, Oliveira, he was definitely in charge that whole game. And while Classic, I think, looked fine for most of it, Oliveira was still the one putting pressure on, looking like the more active player. And I was worried he would fall behind at some point, but he just never really did. Took a good fight in the game. The game ended, but it was very Oliveira favored, I think, for a lot of that game. Then we get to game two, and Classic wins, and it's like, well, I guess you just can't beat Protoss. I don't know. Each individual game feels very lopsided, even if the series as a whole was very close. Fun aspect of this matchup. Frustrating to play, I think, but fun to watch. And now we get to go to a game three. We're all tied up. It's 1-1. We are on Ghost River for game three. So spawning in the upper left-hand corner, we have Dragon Kitesy's Oliveira. And in the upper right-hand corner, we've got Twisted Minds Classic. This map feels weird. I feel like I would not like playing on this map. I haven't played really any games this season. I don't know if I've even ranked this season. But I don't think I would like this map. Very far away third. Fourth base is basically impossible to take. I think I've seen one fourth base taken on this map. I feel like I saw this base taken by a Zerg at some point, and that might be as much macro as I've seen happen on this map. But from a viewing perspective, this map feels very unique. It feels like it forces games that are a little bit different than other maps give us. I'm really happy with this map pool in general. I thought last map pool was a bit boring and stale. It had some interest, but for the most part, it was very much a bunch of very similar maps. Whereas I feel like this map pool has done a better job giving us variety. Even among standard maps, it's like standard but different from each other. And then we have maps like this. This map does not feel standard to me. I don't know. I tend to disagree with pro players on these things, and I usually just defer to them. I don't know what the popular opinion on this map is, but I wouldn't necessarily call it standard. Oh, man. I got a really bad sunburn last week on my arms, and it's mostly done, but they're still just kind of itchy. And when I scratch them, they're still a little bit sore. The skin is still a little bit fresh and raw, but they're so itchy. Very rude. Wear sunscreen. That's my tip for you. It looks like Oliveira is going for some heavy pressure to start things off. This is a 1-1-1 opening. I was gonna say just regular heavy pressure, but like there's no base here. There's no CC. This is very committed pressure out of Oliveira. This is what I'm talking about. This map, I feel like you don't do this on other maps. Classic is going for Phoenixes to open up, which I think could be quite good here. Lifting a siege tank can obviously be very powerful. Obviously killing medevacs can be huge. But it's going to be a little bit before those Phoenixes fully get online. This first one, though, might be able to get a big scout here. Oh, my God. It's just going to fly over a siege tank. He doesn't get in and fully see what's happening, but I feel like he's got a good idea. That being said, this drop is coming in right now. Might be able to just trim off a pylon here. It is, fortunately for Classic, not an Artosis pylon. Oh, I don't know about this fight for Oliveira. Three Adepts here, rather. But he's going to be able to boost away and keep that medevac alive for a little bit longer until the tank shows up. The tank has some friends, some SCVs here to repair. We'll repair the medevac as well. And this tank is going to siege up. It's just out of range of that shield battery. It's Second one will be right in range of it. This is looking very, very tough for Classic to hold. He does have a Void Ray popping out right now. And he's got follow-up shield batteries. It's going to force Oliveira to stutter step his way forward with these siege tanks. Oh my god, Classic going to try to get on one of the tanks. He gets it! What a kill there. Liberator is here, though, to make things even more difficult. The Phoenix is going to go down, gunned down by the Marines. Shield batteries getting hit. That Void Ray went down. A second Void Ray is close to popping, but not quite out yet. Classic just desperately trying to hold. Second siege tank shows up, though, and it's just going to run forward here. Oh, these adepts just getting blasted, and there's no shield batteries to heal these units up anymore. The Void Ray a little too far out of range to hit these tanks. Bunker's going to try to go down to even zone it further, but that's just going to have to be canceled here. Oh, the Void Ray diving a little too far forward. It gets the Liberator, but it is going to go down for that. That being said, one of the tanks dies as well. Oh, the Classic's just got nothing left. One Stalker, one Zealot. The Void Ray, can it get out? No, it cannot, as the pylons get gunned down. Both the Artosis and the Tasteless pylon killed in the heat of battle. This Liberator might go down to the Stalkers, but it's not going to matter. There's so many Marines here. There's still a tank. There's a Bunker finished up now, and GG gets called as Oliveira cheeses his way to victory in game number 3. We had one banger of a macro game, and then 2 very quick games to follow that up. And Classic will get knocked out here in the round of 8. Oliveira moving on to the semifinals.